From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football. The Hampton Crabbers and the Kecoughtan Warriors. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for the Friday night game between the undefeated, ranked number 7 in the nation, Hampton Crabbers, against the 2-5 Kecoughtan Warriors. Bob, on the surface, this looks like a really tough situation for Kecoughtan to be in, but they found some points last week. They beat a Woodside team, 49 points to put on the board.
Well, they did, but they ended up with a lot of injuries. And this is like every other week he's got a new quarterback in there. And I was talking to Roscoe, and he says, you know, we have just too many injuries. And to key personnel, Purvis Tillery, for example, BJ's been out for most games. He's going to play tonight, but he has missed a lot of games this year because of a torn ACL. So, you know, it really is hard to get any continuity, especially with your offense. If you've got new backs or new quarterback, your running backs may stay the same, but if your quarterback's different, he's, you know, a half a second off, or you know, he just is not as smooth the other. It really makes it tough for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, and it would be tough under any circumstance, but then to take on the high-flying Hampton Crabbers, number 1 in the state, have been that way ever since the first poll. And I'm not aware of any injuries to the Crabbers. If you're the other team, you'd kind of hope somebody in the starting lineup can't play, but they're loaded and they've got all this stuff going on. Now, they played a Gloucester team last week. They gave up 3 points. They don't like to give up points, so they're going to be out here tonight to prove that they can get back on that shutout streak. They have 5 shutouts in the 7 games that they've played.
Well, and that field goal they got gave the guy a second chance. The first one they missed, but they said they roughed him, so he got 15 yards closer. He got to kick it, but you're right. Their defense wants to shut out the opponents, and you know that's what you teach your defense. Your job is not to let the other team score. Our job on offense is to score points. So you know that's what you try to teach these kids. Hampton is healthy. They've had some nicks and bruises earlier in the year. They're all doing real good now. You know, it's just a team that you cannot name one guy, because all of them excel at the position they're in, whether it's the center, the quarterback, whether it's your defensive back, your lineman, your ends. It doesn't make any difference. They all are good at what they do.
Someone told me Hampton's the best college team that plays high school football that he's ever seen. Anyway, we're going to go back in time right now. Bob had a chance to talk to head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
I have the Crabbers head coach with me, Mike Smith. Mike, it seems like this season has gone so fast already. We got 3 games left before the end of the season, but everybody's healthy and doing well.
It has gone by rather quickly, unless you're out there playing on Saturday and practicing 5 days a week. But at this point, everyone stayed reasonably healthy. We haven't had any serious injuries during the year. We've had a few nicks and so forth, but overall, we've been very fortunate.
Right. Now, when you come into a game with Kecoughtan and the kids know each other, and you know, it's not hard to get the kids riled up. But Kecoughtan, every game, it seems like they got a different quarterback. I mean, you just go with the basics, and because how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, we prepare more, you know, just for ourselves than we do a lot of times than the opponent. It's just a matter of trying to play good technique football, and whatever, you know, presents itself, then we've got to be ready to play it. So you never know sometimes who you're going to play against or what time it may change, so you got to be able to adapt to it. So most times you got to get into a game and kind of get into the feeling stage in the first quarter to kind of see which direction you're going and go from there.
Right. Well, you know, we often talk about the kicking game, and you got 2 kickers. You got a punter, and Alan Johnson, and your son Brian is the kicker, and his leg has just gotten stronger. He's got better technique. That's got to help you when you go into a game that you know you can depend on your kicking game.
Well, we haven't had to punt that much this year, and early on, you know, this is Alan's first year punting, but he's come along and done a real good job. And in fact, when you watch him when he comes out and warms up, I don't think anyone can out-kick him. Then he's now getting adjusted to kicking in the game, but he hadn't had to kick a lot, so he kicked the ball well against Gloucester the other night. Brian's gotten stronger during the year, and it's been he's been a real asset to us. The guys have done a good job protecting him, good job snapping, and Allen went over from kicking to holding the ball from him and has done a good job. So that's been good for us, and particularly we did a little bit better job on coverage. He kicks the ball down well inside the 5 most of the time, sometimes in the end zone, and it's been a big asset to us. And it's a lot of fun having him over there.
I'm sure it does. Well, Mike, good luck to you tonight.
All right, thanks.
Good enough.
Of course, the Hampton Crabbers, you got the great kicking game going. They've got it all going. You know, when you talk about a team that's going to be number one, you have to have all the different facets. I looked at some of the statistics this week, and Hampton, in the Peninsula District, does not have a leader in any one of them. But they all the statistics, they got someone 2 or 3, and that's the difference. Is there isn't any one player that you can key in on. You don't have a Ronald Curry or a player of that magnitude, but you've got a whole bunch of really good players that all contribute, and any given night they're going to do it.
Well, and that's true, but we have seen this year watching the Hampton Crabbers. We'll look out there and there'll be some young kid running the ball we hadn't seen, 9th or 10th grader, and he's running the ball. So, you know, his players are not getting all the statistics because he's getting what you need to do is build up your young men and get them some experience for the next couple of years, and that's what he's doing.
Has Mike Smith ever done that before? I think Mike Smith does that every year, and that's the beauty of a winning program is you can get players in the 3rd and 4th quarter and get them that all-important game-playing time. And right now, that's the problem that Coach Coles is having over Kecoughtan. He's got so many injuries, he's having to play people in positions they're not used to playing, and that creates havoc every time.
Well, it's not only now they're playing in positions out of position, but they're also playing kids that are probably really not ready. He's pulled up a lot of JV players that are playing and don't have a whole lot of varsity experience, and you go against a team like the Crabbers, and you know you just hope nobody gets hurt because you're going against kids that are not experienced in the fundamentals as well as these young men over at Hampton because they just haven't been in the program long enough.
Well, Bob had a chance a little while ago to talk to head coach Roscoe Coles of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
I have the Warriors head coach Roscoe Coles with me, and Roscoe, I know this has been a kind of a year that you thought you would be doing some good things, but then you got a lot of injuries. You've had to put some people in who have not played in those positions, not a whole lot of experience, but yet you've done not as bad as a lot of people would have in that situation.
Well, I guess you can say we blessed. I don't think the Lord's going to give you no more than you can handle. We got a lot of injuries. Wow, more than you can really talk about. But we unfortunate situation here this week. Quarterback down, Nolan Cutler won't be playing this week. We have a 9th grader that's stepping in, Travis Richmond. We're expecting great things from, and if he can't do it, we'll put in another 9th grader. And we're going to keep playing our youth, and the kids want to play, and we're going to keep playing them.
Well, and the key with the quarterback is, of course, you got to protect him. And you've had some changes on the line that, you know, and that hurts. But these kids, you know, they're going to get experience, and this is what's going to help you for the years ahead.
Well, no question about it. It's I guess you can say it's a building year for us, and we're going to continue to build. We're going to continue to get our kids some football experience. As long as the kids want to play, we're going to continue playing them. They're doing good. I mean, we have every week is a new line. Every week is something new. Well, hey, we're still excited, and the kids are awfully excited. This is our opportunity to play supposedly one of the best schools, one of the best football teams in the country. The chosen few. And it's going to be a great opportunity.
Well, it doesn't take much to get them up for this game, does it?
Well, not really. We're going to play one game, one play at a time, and we're going to see what happens. I think the kids are really ready to play.
Well, good enough. Good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. We go down to the field now for the introduction of the officials. and the pregame ceremony by Richard Rawls.
I have to take your first answer. If you don't understand what I told you, you'll just ask me to repeat it, and I'll be happy to do that for you, okay? The other officials tonight.
Well, he seems to have a little problem picking up the Richard Rawls.
Mr. Brame, Mr. Brame will be your umpire. Mr. Brame will be your linesman. Mr. Curtis will be your line judge. Mr. Barris will be your back judge.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to have a coin toss. Who's going to call it? You're going to call it? I'm going to have my umpire toss it. I've got a thumb that doesn't work. He'll toss it. If he drops it, he'll toss it again. You call it while it's in the air.
Head.
You call it head.
Call it head.
It is a head. You want
the ball. Yes, sir.
you're going to toss. You want to receive?
Yes, sir.
Kecoughtan, you'll be kicking. Which goal do you want to defend? You want to defend this end down here, away from the scoreboard. Gentlemen, let me remind you that you're representing your schools tonight. It's imperative that you exhibit good sportsmanship. You guys are the captains of your teams. Make sure you control the rest of the players of your team. Okay? Kecoughtan, I'll have you come around this side. Hampton, you'll come around behind me. Hampton has won the toss and elected to receive. Gentlemen, let's have a great game.
All right, we've had the pregame ceremony. Tonight's game is brought to you through the sponsorship of the following. Zoom's Sitco with 5 Hampton locations.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
The Family Dentistry of Dr. Scott and Hunter Francis. By Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. By your Allstate agents, Robert Mann and James Hudson. And in part by Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. And by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the managing director. All right, Bob, the Crabbers will receive the opening kickoff. This game, again, is going to be a very difficult one for the Warriors. Under regular circumstances, it would be a tough game. But as we've mentioned several times in the pregame discussion, they are decimated by injuries.
Oh, they really are. And if you look at this roster that Roscoe Coles gave me, and we've got all these people highlighted, and you know, I'm looking at 10, 12 names here of injuries, and that doesn't help. But you got to, you know, the game's scheduled. You're going to play it. You get out and do the best you can.
Back deep. There you see Marcus Higgins. Before him, you saw number 7, Carlos Campbell. And we are set to get this one underway. Jason Broski will put it in the air. It'll be a relatively short kick. Bounces at the 17-yard line and is picked up there.
Well, that's Fenner, I think.
I believe it was Fenner, Derek Fenner, number 2, who fielded. He was the 3rd of the deep receivers for the Crabbers.
But talking about Gordon Broski, the young man that kicked off, Tim, his aunt is the one that she works over there at the Family Dentistry. In fact, cleaned my teeth last week. So we want to say hi to her, and let's play ball.
12-yard return by Fenner, and the Crabbers will set up 1st and 10 from their 28-yard line. We'll give you the starting lineups for both teams after this next play. Marcus Higgins on the delayed handoff. This is Mac Jones, and Jones gets to the outside and is finally pushed out of bounds across the 50 at the Kecoughtan 48-yard line. So Mac Jones picks up a 1st down on the first play from scrimmage. And first of all, let me give you the officials for tonight's contest. Well, let's see. It's cross me.
Well, they were there for a second. Did you see them?
I did. All right. We'll give you. There we go. The officials. Richard Rawls is the referee. Tim Bram is the umpire. Bill Ferry, the linesman. Brent Kadish is the line judge, and John Barish is the back judge. And we'll give you the lineups for the squads in just a second. From the 48-yard line, 1st down for the Crabbers. Again, Jones gets the call and is tripped up on a good defensive effort by B.J. Tillery. Stopped him because once he got that corner, he would have been on the long run. Here we go for the Crabbers. They are paced by Marcus Higgins at quarterback. The fullback is Forte. The tailback is Jones. The wideouts are Campbell and Mann. The tight end is Callaway. The center is Smith. Perry and Tidwell are the guards. The tackles are Robinson and Mann. The punter is Alan Johnson, and the kicker is Brian Smith. Give you Kecoughtan here in a moment. 2-yard gain to the 46 of Kecoughtan, and that play really could have gone for a lot more, but a good job by Tillery to trip up Mac Jones. 2nd down and 8 on the play action. Higgins rifles it to a wide open receiver. That's Fenner at the 32.
That's Campbell.
Campbell, excuse me. I thought it was 2, but in fact it's 7. And now a host of Kecoughtan tacklers will push him back, but he will have the first down at the 28-yard line of the Warriors, a 19-yard gain.
Here we show the defense. So defensive linemen are Corey Davis, Terrence Davis, DeBusk, and Tillery. The linebackers, Craven, Perry, Lewis, and Morgan. The DBs, Battle, Smith, and Gaines.
We'll talk about the coaches when we get a chance as well. Another Hampton first down. Kecoughtan 28-yard line. Just underway here in the first quarter. The pitch to Jones, and he is tripped up at the 25-yard line.
That looks like number 31. And that was Lamar Perry.
Lamar Perry, he was outstanding in the last game that we did for Kecoughtan. I mean, that was that game at Bethel.
Sure it was. The Hampton coaches, of course, head coach Mike Smith, Alvis Mann, Danny Mitchell, Lanny Franklin, Tony Carlson, Kenneth Gilliam, Shannon Smith, Adolph Hawkins, Brian Gerzak, Terry Van, and Darrell Fenner. And I'll give you the Kecoughtan coaches right after this play.
Gain of a couple, 2nd down and 8 for the Crabbers. Mike Smith yelling instructions from the sideline to the quarterback. And looks like a busted play there as Higgins will make something out of nothing as he goes around the right end, and he may score, and he does. That's one of those things when things are going well.
Well, all the blocking went to the left. He went back and was basically against the grain. The Kecoughtan coaches, head coach Roscoe Coles, William Burton, Marty Connor, Steve Cross, Al Morrow, Gino, Corey Thomas, and Stanley Spencer.
I may be wrong, but that did look like a busted play. It looked like he turned around to hand off to someone, and there was no one there, and he just ran in with it. And the Crabbers have scored rather easily on their first possession. They've just driven right down the field. Brian Smith will be on to try the extra point. This kick is more than long enough, and it is right through the uprights. So the Crabbers take the opening kickoff of the ball game and march right down the field. Here's a replay of the touchdown.
And it does look like he looked like he wanted to hand the ball to somebody, and he said, well, I'll just go around the corner here, make a couple of cuts, and just go into the end zone.
Looked like it might have been Forte, number 1, that was in that area where he kind of looked to his side, and they'll probably put that play in the playbook for next week.
Why not? Tom Gear is involved with the girls and boys clubs in Hampton. They are in the process of raising money to build a new gym. Your donations would be appreciated. If you have any questions, call Tom Gear at 827-8277.
26 yards?
25 yards, I heard him say.
Yeah, I wanted to check with my statistician here.
Yeah, the man's on top of it.
If it's more than 25, is it 26, or does it have to be all the way out to the 26? It looked like it was on like the 25 and a half. How did they?
I would give him 26, but I'm not a statistician.
Okay, so a 25-and-a-half-yard touchdown run. All right, so the Warriors now will get a chance to test that Hampton defense. Back deep, Joe Smith standing at about the 2-yard line. He is flanked by Raymond Craven. And let me see if I can pick up the other young man. If he turns around, it looks like number 6. That would be Dominic Gaines. No, that's 2.
That's 2 is Battle, right.
This is Emmanuel Anderson, number 8, and he is out across the 20.
That's not a bad
23. Run. No, it wasn't bad at all.
Not a bad run back. There's your offense. We got Travis Richmond at quarterback, Smith, Craven are the running backs. The flankers Player. The split end Tyson. Tight end Battle. Centers DeBusk. The guards are Davis and Williams. French and Swan are the tackles.
23-yard line is where the Warriors will start. They will have a breeze to their backs. Have the wind here in the first quarter. It's not substantial. It's a cool, comfortable evening. I guess you might say it's a perfect night for football.
I wondered when you was going to say that.
I didn't want to wait too long. Handoff goes to Joe Smith, number 3, as he hits the hole. And here's your defense for the Crabbers. At the guards are Williams and Smith. The tackles are Davis and Forte. Your ends are Mac Jones and Afonso Gunter. Linebackers are Lee and Mann. The corners are Higgins, Fenner, and the safety is Carlos, the X-Man, Campbell.
And now you look at the quarterback, Tim. We've had Kecoughtan's had 2 or 3 different quarterbacks this year. Travis Richmond, young man, is just a freshman. So, I mean, you have to your starting debut against the #1 team in the state.
Wants to throw, does. It's up in the air, and it intercepted by Marcus Higgins as it was off the hands of Philip Tyson. And you can't fault the young quarterback for that one.
That ball was hit him where he should have caught it.
Yep.
But those are one of those things that happen, and the ball comes up, and that's why the Crabbers, as you watch the replay, they practice this tip drill, as all the teams do. And you can see he said, well, listen, you can hit me, but I'm going to catch it.
Well, I'll give credit to Philip Tyson, too. He knew right away after it went off his hands it was probably going to be in the defender's hands, so he wasted no time in making sure there was no touchdown return. And he put Higgins on his back, but Higgins comes up with the INT, and the Crabbers have it for the second time. Out of the wishbone, now in motion is Mac Jones to the right. Higgins working from the shotgun. And Jones makes the grab at the 40 and is downed at the 37-yard line.
It looks like Lamar Perry, number 31, was in on the stop that time. Family Dentistry, Dr. Scott and Hunter Francis, 2038 Dickerson Boulevard, 851-3530. Evening and Saturday appointments are available.
Richmond, Travis Richmond. Okay, giving some help to some folks here trying to figure out who some
Buddy Denton and his wife Tricia next door is a last-minute replacement for the announcing this game. Buddy has been announcing games for years, but has been inactive, so to speak. They brought him off the bench, brought him out of retirement.
Brought him out of retirement.
There you
Mac
go.
Jones drags tacklers. Picks up some yardage. Hey, check out your neighborhood Zooms. They have 5 convenient Hampton locations. Also want to remind you, we're very happy to have Wood Funeral Home again as one of our community supporters. Wood Funeral Home, where the funeral director is Richard Pulley. On staff are Bill Leggett and Bill White. 31-yard line is where they've marked it. First down for Hampton. Hampton leading 7-0 as we approach the 7.5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Game videotaped on the 22nd of October, 1999. Handoff to Forte. That was the play that we anticipate might have been the play that ended up in the touchdown run, and he picks up a couple of tough yards.
Well, Kecoughtan did a good job that time of plugging up the hole. You're in good hands with your Allstate agents, Robert Mann and James Hudson. Call them for your insurance needs at 827-1200.
Now the Warriors are going to take a timeout as we have 7:04 left in the first quarter. Are we going to pick a player of the game, Bob?
Yes, we are.
We were.
We will get right to that. I'm glad you keep me on the stick. We will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams this evening, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tab Square on Route 17. Formerly known as Buckwalders. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim or Dave Buckwalder at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods and located in Kecoughtan. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniform, plus screen printing on the premises. Call David Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. We do appreciate those two young men. Products of the Hampton school system.
All right, the timeout over with as the Warriors on defense wanted to make sure they got it straight. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain they've given to Forte. Inside handoff again. This one goes to
Forte again, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Sort of almost like a crossbuck. There was a little more of an angle than straight ahead.
Raptors have kept the ball on the ground now for this, not only their first possession, but this possession as well. The one pass to Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, well, yeah, and then they had one earlier that was, I think they passed twice, haven't they?
Yeah, they might have. And we've got Warriors in the neutral zone. Now the question will be, did they jump or were they pulled off?
Well, and this is something that the Crabbers do as good as anybody I've ever seen, and they can draw you off with the change of cadence counts. And that's Richard Rawls, and I'm probably talking over the top of him. We're not able to hear the official tonight.
I know. We like hearing Richard.
Yeah, well.
That will be enough for a 1st down for Hampton.
There he goes. That's called encroachment. Talk about our crew. We get a chance.
No, don't get too early on this. They're liable to go home.
Oh, well, we won't talk about them too early then. Don't want them to go home.
No, we don't. Higgins on the rollout. Still has it. Tillery missed him. Higgins extremely quick. Gets down close to the 10-yard line. Stopped at about the 11.
You knew he was going to get stopped or run out of bounds. You could almost feel it.
But he didn't.
He sure didn't. HCS Reports has a new look. Join anchor Beth Sadler Monday through Friday at noon and again at 5 p.m. for all the news and information about the Hampton City Schools. What's going on in the Hampton City Schools? Check it out on HCS Reports.
Man, you got more stuff to read over there than I ever thought you had. Watch your replay here. You're going to see Tillery's going to have him right there, but can't hold on to him.
And look at the acceleration.
And took a late hit to the kidney there. That hurt. I felt that one up here. 2nd down and about 4. Into the middle.
Forte,
that's that same dive play that he's been doing. And he will be close to the 1st down.
Big old number 75 making the tackle. That's Terrence Davis.
So that is enough for the 1st down, and that is a 1st and goal for the Crabbers. Carlos Campbell set to the near side. Into the middle they give it. Forte bulls his way down close to the goal line, stopped at about the 2.
And that's right. That was a bull. I mean, just carrying people with him. WHCS Channel 46 presents live your school board meetings on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of each month. Join them at 7:30 p.m. So tune in and be informed.
Tune in and turn on.
That's right. To the Hampton City Schools. Find out what's happening.
2nd and goal. Forte again. No signal yet. And now they signal he did not get in. So it's right on the goal line, just shy. The Warriors defense taking pride in holding out what would almost seem like the inevitable touchdown. The Crabbers just relentlessly pushing that ball towards the goal line.
Well, Jason DeBusk has been right in the middle of that line, and that young man has moved from a defensive lineman, offensive lineman, into a center. So he's playing everything. Oh, nice stick.
Forte, 2nd effort. Did he get in? No. My gracious. 4th down and goal. Give the defense some credit here. The Warriors.
75 Terrence Davis was right in there.
Man, what a nice goal line stand from the Warrior defense. Watch this. They're going to the good surge and a nice over-the-top stop. If I can pick up, that was 31. That's my man.
Man, that's
Mr. Perry.
Lamar Perry.
He is something. He is the reason why there's not 6 more points on the board. Now the Crabbers with 4th and goal are going for it. And this time Forte does get into the end zone. So it took 4 efforts by Forte to get there. But he finally does go in from 1 yard out. But give credit to the Warrior defense. They just, they knew they were outmanned, but they stood tall and did a heck of a job.
Boy, they did that.
But the Warriors fall behind now by 2 touchdowns as Brian Smith will come on with 3:15 to go in the first quarter. He'll try the extra point. The strong leg of Brian Smith kicks it through the end zone way out to the parking lot almost. And it's now 14-0 as the Crabbers have had the ball twice and have scored twice.
Well, they took advantage of a turnover right down here, what was inside, right around the 40-yard line. And, you know, anytime you start with that kind of field position, I don't care what team you are, it really fires your team up.
Hampton Chevrolet is a locally owned business, and they strongly believe in supporting both the community and the schools. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. Has there been a time when Hampton Chevrolet wasn't one of our sponsors?
I think they've been just about as long as we've been here, like Tom Gear at Gear Up Printing and Zooms. I think those have been with us almost from the get. Of course, you and I we're out of our teen years now, aren't we?
We're celebrating our 20th anniversary.
So we're no longer teenagers.
We've been together longer than I've been married to my wife.
Oh, don't tell her that.
I won't tell her. All right, we're set for the kickoff. And again, this one will be into a slight breeze, but with Brian Smith's leg, that's not a problem. 3:15 to go in the first period. Kick will be taken at the 3-yard line. Smith to the 30. He's still going. Trying to get to the outside. Smith makes him cut back, and he lost his footing, but not until he gets all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Well, Joe Smith did a good job, but Brian Smith made him cut back inside, and he lost his footing. Nice run back by Joe Smith.
45 yards on the return. Joe Smith return out to the 48-yard line. Took it at the 3. That was pretty. The Warriors will try and build on that positive. Best field positions for the Warriors, and again, tough when you've got that young quarterback in that position. Been picked off on the first series. This time they hand off right side into Hampton territory.
And that's a nice line surge that time by the offensive line, Tim. They came off the ball together, moved ahead, moved that ball almost, good 3 yards.
Yep, Joe Smith picked up 3.
Looks like Joseph Player and Drew Williams are shuttling the plays in from Coach Roscoe Coles.
2nd down and 7. Double wide receivers to the near side. That is Drew Williams along with Philip Tyson to the near side. Split backfield on the option. And rudely taken down.
Forte.
Mr. Forte as he takes down the young quarterback, Travis Richmond, for a loss. Had been on the 49. They put it on the other 49, so a 2-yard loss. 3rd down and 9 for Kecoughtan. Here's your replay. You're going to see what I was talking about, the rude way that he was taken down, grabbed by the collar and then just pulled back. Forte says, "You're not going anywhere."
Nobody blocked Forte.
No. Smith, handoff to about back to the 49 where he had gotten the ball previously, but that'll bring up 4th down and long for the Warriors. Now they actually spot the ball just across midfield. So a yard for Smith on the play. And the Warriors line up in deep punt formation. Jason Broski, their very fine punter, will stand inside his 40.
And Thomas Hammond, number 86, is the centers for the punt.
Broski just got it away.
Oh, nice kick.
Beautiful spiral. And Carlos Campbell will pick it up at the 10. Cuts to his right, then cuts to his left and says that was a mistake. And he's taken down on a fine effort by the special teams team from Kecoughtan at the 8-yard line.
Did a good job of covering the field and staying in their lanes. They didn't let Carlos get outside, because once he's outside, he is very dangerous. Him and Marcus Higgins are very adept.
40-yard kick.
Yeah, they're very adept at getting away once you give them a little room to see where the defense is.
Campbell thought about it, got forced back, and then ended up with a 3-yard loss on the return to the 7-yard line, where the Warriors will go on defense and try to stop this Hampton juggernaut. We're less than a minute to go here in the first period. Hampton has scored on their first 2 possessions. Higgins over the middle, and there was some contact. I don't see any penalty flags. Looked like the receiver got tangled up a bit.
Yeah, it looked like that.
But no penalty flag. It was probably deemed to be incidental contact. The coaches on the far sideline, and the Hampton Crabbers are the visitors for this contest, seem to be marking at the officials. Thought there might have been a call there, but none forthcoming. Bob Killen to my left here said that he thought they were holding the receiver 89, which is Callaway, and I thought that was the same thing I saw. Sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't.
That's true.
Higgins in his own end zone, racing, looking downfield, now throws. He's got Fenner open, and Fenner makes the grab.
What a catch, because I'll tell you, number 3, Joe Smith, was right there. They both fought for the ball. Fenner came away with it.
Let's talk about that throw.
Yeah, that was the next thing to talk about.
A 38-yard
Wow.
pass, but that was from the line of scrimmage. He threw that apple from just inside or just outside the end zone. Watch the replay here. I'm not sure we'll be able to see it from the low camera, but he was just across the goal line. Look at that, on the money. And Derek Fenner makes the grab for the first down all the way out to the 45-yard line. Now we have we got someone from the coaching staff coming out to the Warriors. Looks like there's been a timeout called on the field with half a minute remaining in the first quarter.
Did not see who the timeout was charged to. We talk about everybody we're supposed to talk about.
Let's talk. All right, let's talk about the people behind the scenes.
All right. Well, first we'll talk about the young ladies that pulled the. And what did you call them?
They are cable mobile technicians.
Mobile cable technicians. Asa Carroll and Era Towns. Doing the slow-mo instant replay, and also the engineer tonight, Don Charaus. Cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton. The graphics and audio, Andy Foley. And we got to talk about the big guy.
He said we have to talk about it.
Okay, big guy. Scotty Beamia Bowers is taking care of everything. Did you get? Did he give you some of that lunch that he had here? Did you not get any of that?
Lunch?
You didn't get any?
I didn't get it. I didn't see any.
You're always late, Tim.
What was the lunch? What did I miss?
Well,
and what time do I have to be here to get the lunch? I understand it doesn't matter what time I get here.
You're not going to get anything anyway.
Well, I haven't missed too many lunches anyway, as one can tell. So.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about that.
I do my own thing here. I do my own Rodney Dangerfield thing here. Tillery in on the tech. I get no lunch. I get no respect. I get neither one of those. Pick up a yard on the play, a little more than a yard perhaps. We may have seen the last play of the quarter. I'm not sure they can get this one off. It's down to 2 seconds, 1 second. No, they will not, as the time will expire here in the first period. And it's been all Hampton. The Hampton Crabbers took the opening kickoff and went the length of the field, capped by a 25-yard Marcus Higgins run. Brian Smith tacked on the extra point, and then Forte on 4 tries. After a 1st and goal on the Hampton 6, the Kecoughtan defense held for 3 downs And then finally, on the 4th attempt, Forte was in the end zone, and it's 14-0 after the first 12 minutes of action. There you see some of the fans enjoying the night, some of them without jackets, some of them with. It's a cool evening. We've been blessed, though, Bob. This whole football season has been football weather. We haven't had a hot, sultry, or humid night yet.
No, we haven't had a cold night or a rainy night. So, you know, we knock on wood or whatever we got to do. But you're right. Just about every night has been a perfect night for football.
Now, let's hope. And please, if there's any power up there that can come to our aid, next Friday night, we are back here for the game.
There you go. We got the Phantoms and the Crabbers.
That will be a good one. You want to get your tickets early. You want to get here early because there will not be empty seats in the stands unless there is.
Look at who's running about.
I just was getting ready to say.
That's Raymond Mann.
Number 77 lined up in the backfield. Raymond Mann, not listed as an offensive player. I don't know if is 77 allowed to line up in the back. They got number requirements, don't they? I guess not. Obviously not.
He plays offensive tackle and he plays linebacker.
I know in college and pros, if you're in the backfield, you can't have a number that isn't over. So look at this guy, Raymond Mann, just rumbling down the field, dragging battles. That's right. Who is going to stop him?
He's playing tailback, and there he is again.
There he is again, and we saw this. Was it last year or the year before? There was a defender that played all the time for Hampton, and then they decided, I can't think of the young man's name. There have been so many of them.
Yep.
But he was played defense all the time, and all of a sudden, about halfway through the season, Mike Smith put him in a tailback, and the kid just chewed up yardage.
Yeah.
I'll think of his name.
You're talking about the young man whose brothers used to play for the Miami. Hollier.
Hollier is exactly what it was. Played great on defense, and they decided to give him the ball, and all he did was average about 150 yards a game. And they give it to him for the third time. Man says, hey, listen, this defense is too easy to play. You know, let me give the ball here and see what happens. And we're talking big boy here, number 77, Raymond Mann, 6'2", 232. He looks a little healthier than 232.
Well, I'll tell you, not only that, but you see the quickness he has, and that's what got the college coaches are drooling.
Oh, I bet.
His dad was over at Bethel High School when I was over there. He played football, but he was a better wrestler than he was a football player, but just as strong and quick. But Raymond is about a foot taller than his dad.
He's a big kid. 3rd down and 9. And now Higgins on play action. Wants to throw, and it is complete. And Callaway breaks the tackle and scores. Carl Callaway from 30 yards out.
Well, Tim, that was not only a great catch because he was well defended, but then he broke the tackle.
31 yards to be exact.
Watch the replay on this. And this is from the sideline. And right there, great defense, and just broke the tackle. Run right out of Joe Smith's grasp.
So the Crabbers now make it 20-zip. Brian Smith will try to make it 21. This one was not pretty, but it went through. Most of his are just perfect. You know, they have this
end over end.
Yeah, they're usually rising as they hit the scoreboard, and this one looked like it might have been tipped.
Yeah, well, and it looked like a spiral pass too, didn't it?
But it'll look like a perfect extra point.
That's right. You look on the scoreboard, and there it is. For all your printing needs, call Gear Up Printing at 1909 North Armstead Avenue. Give them a call at 827-8277.
Mr. Higgins, I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
I was just going to tell you that Mr. Higgins so far in the game, 4 of 5 for 93 yards passing. Wow. That doesn't include his little 25-yard run and others.
So you're trying to tell me he's responsible for over 100 yards already?
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Well over. For any kind of dental work, which is quick and painless, and I can attest to that since I just had my teeth cleaned. Don't they look pretty?
They just look pretty.
Yeah, just go to the Family Dentistry, Dr. Scott and Hunter Francis at 2038 Nickerson Boulevard. Give them a call, 851-3530.
Last time you talked about that stuff, Bob brought out his new teeth. And that was not pretty.
Well, we want to talk about that. He wore those down there one night and see Hunter Francis, and he'll probably faint.
We should share for the viewers. Bob has these.
He looked like Goober and Gomer, a cross between the two.
Has these fake teeth he puts in, and they really are. They really look like the real McCoy. From the 5-yard line, Fenner. Check that, not Fenner. I got the wrong team there.
Craven.
Excuse me. That is Raymond Craven. Right number, wrong team. Fenner used to be with the green and white.
You're right there.
Had a flashback of some sort.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. it's like that.
Watch the replay.
Like that Pink Floyd concert I went to a number of years ago, but that's something else.
Allstate agents Robert Mann and James Hudson can handle all your insurance needs from the car to the home. Give them a call at 827-1200. They're located at 942 Big Bethel Road.
20-yard return on the kickoff. Warriors from their 25-yard line trying to get something on the board here. Down by 3 touchdowns with 9:56 to go. Pitch is fumbled, and who came up with it?
The Warriors come back with the ball, Tim. But here's one of the problems you have with a new quarterback. And not only new quarterback, but a young man is a freshman, no varsity experience to speak of. And he is thrown into the lineup, and here's the replay, and you can just see pitch was a little bit behind, but that's one of those things as a running back, you got to get that ball.
We got officials timeout for equipment here, I believe.
Yeah, looks like working on, that's on Mac Jones. Safety is one of the main concerns that the officials have to be aware of, and of course, I think we're very fortunate that we've had Richard Rawls' crew a couple times this year. Always do a great job, and we do appreciate Richard and wearing the mic and all that.
Now you've done it, Bob.
I could hear that.
You just want to tell us there's only been 1 penalty. That will take care of the second quarter.
Why did he have to say something, right?
All right. 2nd down and 15 after the 5-yard loss. Joe Smith. Nope, that's not Smith either. That is Raven Craven.
Raven Craven?
Raven Craven. Raymond Craven. Craven Raven. To the 22. Got back 2 of the 5 yards they lost. 3rd down and 13 to go for the Warriors. 2-5 on the season. Had a big explosion last week against Woodside. Scored 49 points and beat Woodside for their 2nd victory of the season. But as Daddy would say, Woodside is no Hampton, and Hampton is no Woodside. Into the middle of the line. That was Joe Daly, number 9, carrying the ball.
Zooms has given an award to the senior football player on each one of the teams this year in the Hampton school system. And this player who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded a plaque at the school board meeting after the season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support to WHCS and our student athletes.
Bad snap from center. And it gets worse. The ball is loose in the end zone. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. So the scramble of the ball resulting in a recovery. Looks like it was
Fenner.
That was Derek Fenner, number 2, who recovered the fumble in the end zone. And that is the 4th touchdown. Watch the replay here. You're going to see the ball. Just a bad snap, and Broski had no chance at all. Tried to kick it away, and there you see Crabbers all over the place covering the fumble.
And you aren't going to get a better shot at what's happened than that. Great camera work.
So the night gets longer for the Warriors as Brian Smith this time has got the ball looking like it usually does when he puts the foot to it, and it is perfect. So the Warriors now down 28-0. The outmanned Kecoughtan Warriors, trailing before the half. We've got 8 minutes left in the 2nd quarter.
I was talking to you about the Academic Excellence Award. Let me tell you about the players from tonight's game. The Hampton Football-Hampton player who will be recognized at the school board meeting, the punter, Alan Johnson. And for Kecoughtan,
What's his GPA?
I'm going to tell you.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. And the Kecoughtan Warriors, it will be John Swan. And number 74, one of the linemen.
Now, that can't be right. Linemen don't have any brains. They go out there and they get beat up every day.
Yeah, well,
never get their name called.
Well, don't tell that to John Swan. Let me tell you, that young man, 274.
I'm kidding. That was Bob that said
No, it wasn't Bob. It was
made me sick.
Tim Cole.
I was joking. That, that's the old stereotype.
Yep.
The
Big dumb lineman,
big
right?
dumb lineman. But that's what it was when I was in high school.
You played line?
I played the line. And with this gorgeous body, I sure wasn't in the backfield.
Well, I thought it took you a few years to get that body.
No, I've had this for a while, thanks. All right, Mr. Smith. Kick it off again. Joe Smith will take it at the 7. Smith had a big return last time, gets out to the 25-yard line, so a 17-yard return. Let's see, 8, 25, 17. Yep, see it. Or 18. Okay, Bob got 18.
You better listen to your man over there.
I had it on a different line than he did.
Watch the replay.
Here it is again from the ground level. Smith tries to get to the outside and did a pretty good job with an 18-yard return to the 25-yard
Well,
line.
Jimmy Williams, number 21, Tim, just a sophomore, has done some running back, did a great job of making him turn inside. Would not let him get outside, and that's why the Crabbers were able to stop him and keep him under 20 yards on that return.
So the Warriors will try to get untracked again being led by the young freshman quarterback against this incredible defense. I mean, this is a defense that has allowed only 2 of their 7 opponents to even score. You and I talked about the field goal that Gloucester got. That was a second try that they got after a roughing the kicker call and moved it 15 yards closer. And I guess it was more like an extra point. So they got 3 against Hampton, and believe me, Hampton did not want to give up 3 points to anybody, let alone a foe like Gloucester in the past, who has been not competitive. And of course this year they are. They're playing real good football.
Yeah, and they will have the worst scenario is a 500 season, which they've never had since they've been in the Peninsula District.
Yeah, coming up from AA a number of years ago on the option. And Raymond Travis. It is Raymond Travis, right?
Yeah. Robbie Robinson just wrapped him up to nowhere for him to go.
Or is it Travis Raymond? See, I never can remember that. He's got 2 first names or 2 last names.
Well, you got to pick one of them.
Which is it?
Well, his last. What's his number?
21.
Yeah, well, let him have him on this roster.
It's the quarterback.
His
Raymond.
first name is Travis.
His first name is Travis.
There you go.
Well, see, that's why I'm still having problems.
Well, not if you just think of being from Richmond.
Travis Richmond. We apologize, Mr. Richmond. Bob made me do it again. The quarterback throws it up, and it's batted, and what a nice interception by Alphonso Gunter. He did one-handed as he's falling down. That was outstanding athleticism.
Cradle that ball in so that it would not hit the ground. Watch this. We watch it.
I mean, just to make sure the ball didn't, if you got instant replay, and like you do in the NFL, that would have been a catch and an interception, and it would have been upheld on replay.
And that would have been a highlight special, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty for Mr. Gunter. So the second interception by the Crabbers. They'll have the ball now at the Warrior 41-yard line, leading by 4 touchdowns. We are still 6:14 away from halftime. And a game that is rapidly getting uglier and uglier here for the Warriors, as this time the ball carrier is Mac Jones. Purvis Tillery in on the stop, as he has so often already this evening.
Have we got a chance to talk about all our corporate sponsors?
Well, we haven't talked about a lot of them here in the second quarter, but we have a lot of time left. You know, Hampton Chevrolet is one of them, and they urge you to support the community by giving to the Peninsula United Way campaign. leaders in the peninsula, the Hampton Chevrolet folks.
I think I talked about all mine.
I think you probably did. Higgins is taken down by Lamar Perry. Mr. Perry does a great job on defense for the Warriors.
He sure does.
After the game, make that trip to Zooms. Zooms is your friendly neighborhood location. They've got Beantown coffee on those cold evenings or cold mornings, whichever the case. They got Citgo gas. They've got fried chicken. They got ham and cheese subs. They've got Krispy Kreme donuts. You want it, they've got it.
Is that one up the next to you open yet?
I was out there helping them shovel stuff today just to speed things along here. I'm looking forward to stopping for some fried chicken on the way home after the game.
We're in a shotgun formation.
They're getting there, though. Third down and long. Third down and about 13. Higgins wants to set up a screen, and it's to the left side. Mac Jones has got it. 30, 25, and he's got one man to beat, and that one man almost got him, but he didn't quite bring him down.
It's amazing the balance that these young men show. There's a pound,
however.
Maybe, I don't know if there's a holding.
We'll have to wait and see. This could be a lot of things. Could be an illegal receiver downfield. We'll see how they unfold this one. It is against Hampton, and it will not count. The touchdown will not count.
Illegal player down the field.
Yeah, I think that's probably
an eligible player.
Yeah, it looks like number 54 might have started downfield ahead of the receiver.
Mike's not happy with that at all.
All right, let's see. Wait a minute now. We're going to pick up the flag. And Roscoe Coles is not happy now. So you knew one of the coaches was going to be unhappy with the change. And now Richard Rawls will come over and explain why it was reversed. So that is a 45-yard, 43-yard pass to Mac Jones from Marcus Higgins. So now the Warriors, is that you?
Come in?
Someone tapping on our doors. I hope that was not heard by the folks at home. Smith up with the kick, and he is getting a lot of exercise tonight between the extra points and the kickoffs. We still have 4:48 to go, and it is getting ugly. In fact, I think the comment I heard the other day is if this was a fight, they'd call it. It's 35-0, and Warriors are still wondering why that flag was picked up.
Yeah, I don't know the situation. You know, somebody saw something, but then evidently the player was not. Because usually if you're going to throw that flag, it's going to be on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Well, it was on the behind the line of scrimmage. So that's why I thought it might have been holding.
Well, and if you saw that play, the Crabber quarterback, Higgins, went way back. That's how I knew right away he was setting up a screen, because he really wasn't feeling much pressure, but he was 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So you knew, I thought he was coming to the near side, so it looked like the screen would be to
our right down side. Towards right. This side of the field, yeah.
But then he went to Mac Jones, who was over on the far side, and of course Mac Jones finished it off. Higgins in the first half now, 5 of 6 passing for 136 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, as well as 1 rushing touchdown. Threw a 31-yarder to Callaway, and now a 43-yarder to Mac Jones, as the Crabbers, averaging better than 40 points a game, are almost there, and we haven't reached the halfway point yet. From the 3-yard line, Joe Smith out to the 25. 3-yard line, 25-yard line, a 22-yard return. I know I got this one right. Yep, I did. So I finally got one right.
Joe Smith is doing a good job when he gets a little chance to run that ball back. He's showed some good ability returning the kickoff. Watch the replay here. Nice job of seeing that kicker come right at you, and watch this move. Right here, made a good job, made a tackler miss, but then it was nowhere to go.
So from the 25, with 4:41 left in the half, and a high high snap out of the shotgun. And this one is overthrown as Travis Richmond, the freshman quarterback, is incomplete.
And that just took off on him. And you know that he's got to have butterflies. He's got to feel like, you see all those white jerseys coming at me?
That's his first successful.
Yeah, it's just amazing the pressure they put on a quarterback. And if you're a freshman quarterback with very little experience, it doesn't help.
All right, 2nd down and 10. On the draw play, and the Crabbers read that one beautifully. All right, with 4:30 left in the first half, we'll return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of our first half after this brief timeout. You didn't miss anything. 3:55 left in the half. And now we got a penalty flag. That'll be delay of the game, so things just don't get any better for the Warriors. Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz coming to you. This game videotaped on the 22nd of October, 1999. This is our next to the last regular season game here on Channel 46. And we have had some really good games. Last week's game was just outstanding with that overtime thriller between Phoebus and Bethel.
Oh, that was awesome.
And hopefully next Friday night's contest, which we will be here to do, the Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms. And why don't you make plans to come on out and be here in person? And then join us here on Channel 46 for the replay. Almost picked off again. That was Derek Fenner who got his hands on it but couldn't hold on to it.
That was just, that ball looked like the quarterback was trying to guide the ball in instead of just throw it. And I'm sure he's concerned. He's throwing 2 passes that were intercepted. One of them not his fault necessarily. And but Tim, you know, we're talking about the season next week. Watch the replay. But next week we do our last regular season scheduled game. And it seemed like we just started.
I'm telling you.
It just boomed, it went fast.
This time a good snap from center on 4th down. Carlos Campbell will take it at the 40, to the 50, to the 40, down the sideline. Flag is down, and Campbell also taken down inside the 15. But let's wait and see how this penalty flag goes. If it's against Hampton, needless to say, the Warriors will want to have a second chance at that kick. But unfortunately for the Warriors, it will not be against Hampton. It'll be against Kecoughtan for illegal procedure. Here's Campbell, and a good tackle that time.
Broski, the punter.
Yeah.
Awesome.
40-yard punt, but a 49-yard return. So Carlos Campbell gives the Crabbers another crack at it with 3:31 to go.
His daddy was played golf for me, I believe, at Bethel High School. Gordon Broski, in case you wanted to know.
Just another one of those little interesting tidbits.
Yep.
All right, Crabbers again. Campbell, screen pass near side. It's an easy walk in for the touch.
Now that was just almost too easy, wasn't it?
A 13-yard pass to Campbell from Higgins. Here's your replay. Just a little middle screen, looked like.
Just that flanker's screen, and he cut back inside and just kind of went across any pursuit, went against the grain, and that was it.
Brian Smith will try to make it 42-0, and that is our score now with 3:24 still remaining, as the Crabbers scored twice in the first quarter and have added 4 more here in the second quarter. And as I said, it was a fight. The referee would call it. Warriors have to be disheartened, and again, you know, they put up such a valiant effort in that goal line stand and made Forte work for it, but it's tough. You know, these young men just get down after you just have a drubbing like this. It's so hard to keep your spirits up, and you're getting whacked around by this big offensive line of the Crabbers. And when you're on offense, the defense is coming in because they know you can't just stick to your game plan. So it is tough. So Brian Smith will tee it up again, and
he's gonna be tired.
I'm telling you, he's had a workout. He's broken a sweat here in the first half. That's 6 extra points. So Joe Smith will try it again if he in fact does get this kickoff. It's coming. This one will go into the end zone, and it is not returnable as it's taken by Raymond Craven. And again, those of you not familiar with the rules, in high school ball, you are not allowed to bring a ball out of the end zone on a kickoff. It's not an option.
Not an option.
There's an echo on this thing.
There's an echo on this.
No. All right, hey, listen, I understand. I don't usually bring this up, but I understand you and Mr. Killen and Mr. Musgrove played golfs today, and I understand you had a 74?
Well, I got a little lucky.
My gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was for 18 actual ones there. I tell you, that was. You're going to have to give up this broadcasting stuff and become a golfer.
No, I think I'll stick with this.
And this one is picked off again. This is Gunter.
That's his second one.
He's got 2.
And you know what really is tough? The young man throws the ball. The receiver wasn't even looking. I mean, he didn't know the ball was coming. Well, you got to be looking.
By the way, I'm trying to get this one in before the Warriors went on. At Higgins now, here's the replay. And you know, that was just, you know, you just can't throw the ball up like that. And I'm not being critical of the young man. He's going to be a good one, I'm sure, and he's going to get this experience, and it's going to be good for him. But you can't throw the ball up for grabs like that when you've got 3 guys deep back there, and all of them with good hands like the Crabbers do.
What you got to do is stick with the short game, over the middle, in the flat, maybe curl patterns.
All right, Higgins at quarterback. He is 6 of 7 for 143 yards and 3 passing touchdowns here in the first half, and a busted play, and Lamar Perry will make him pay for that busted play with the sack. So Lamar Perry, number 31, makes the play. Loss on the play. About 3. See, the play just never got untracked.
Never did.
Lamar Perry, being a good defensive player to begin with, loves it when no one blocks him.
Well, and he just found a gap and got in there.
Second and a baker's dozen. This is Mac Jones, and Jones also taken down by Lamar Perry, but unfortunately, check that, Forte rather. Forte number 1. And this time, though, there was a substantial gain on the play.
Well, Perry makes the tackle, but Tim, he's making way downfield that time. Perry's playing one of the linebackers, which you expect most of your tacklers are going to be made by your linebackers if they get through the line of scrimmage. And the Crabbers have a tendency to get beyond the line of scrimmage rather quick.
7 yards on that last play for Forte. 3rd down and about 6 for the Crabbers. Higgins wants to throw. Fakes the throw. And now is pushed out of bounds as he gets to about the 26-yard line, very close to the first down marker. It will depend on the spot of the ball.
And Purvis Tillery, number 5, is limping.
Oh boy, that's the news doesn't get any better as he hobbles over to, there you see him in your picture, over to the bench, and he and Lamar Perry have just been the
defensive stalwarts out there. You're right.
Yeah. All right, they're looking at this one. Richard Rawls is going to bring the chains across. It is close enough for him to measure, as Higgins needed 6 and got very close to the first down. I'm going to, from here, it looks, well, I can't even see where they've spotted the ball, but I think that it's going to be just short. It looked to me like they needed to get to about the 25.5.
Well, look right on the screen and you'll see it right there.
First down.
And it is a first down by about an inch. So the Crabbers do get a fresh set of downs. 1:38 left in the first half. And Hampton on top comfortably by the score of 42-0. Crabbers have the best power rating in Division 5 by far.
Or in any AAA team.
Well, you know, one of the teams that has done very well as the season has gone on was Kempsville, who was Hampton's first victim. And quite frankly, they looked mediocre at best that night.
Oh, they really did.
And I think they're 6-1 on the season now. The only loss they have is against Hampton, I believe. Hampton will make you look bad. And Higgins is sacked again. And this time we got a different number doing the job, and that is Edward Ross.
Edward Ross.
So Ed Ross gets a little enjoyment on the evening. It's tough to enjoy when you're down 42-0, but if you're a defensive player, you love to get that quarterback.
What was that show? Glengarry, Edward Ross?
I think not. And he was blocked into him. Forte tried to block him, but Ross was not to be denied. He just went right to the quarterback and got him. The second down and about 14 after the 4-yard sack. Over the middle, the slant, a flag goes down in the backfield. Derek Fenner was the intended receiver.
Well, Mac Jones had to make an adjustment in the backfield and never got set for a full second.
And that's what Richard Rawls has indicated, illegal procedure against Hampton. They've done very few things incorrectly so far tonight. If you're the Warriors, you kind of debate whether to take the penalty. Illegal shift. So now I hear Richard Rawls. Oh, I hear him real well.
They cleaned out my sinuses.
All right. So, third down and 14. So they did take the incomplete pass rather than give the Crabbers another down. 55 ticks of the clock left here in the first half. Carlos Campbell sets up in the backfield now. And the pitch goes to Jones, Mac Jones, and Jones is met and stopped cold at the 27-yard line. And that's my man on the bottom. Look, wait a minute, that was
number one.
Number one, I saw the one there. That is Battles, and Perry showed up to assist, but Aquan Battle was there, and he took on a much bigger Mac Jones. Watch this. I mean, he just put his head down and said, Good job by Battle.
Really was. And Battle's not a big kid, Tim. He's only 5'10", 165.
So now there is a timeout called by the Warriors as the Crabbers have brought on the field goal kicking team. And
well, they want to stop the clock, Tim, 18 seconds. And, good chance to work with the field goal unit.
Well, and I'm sure some people would say, hey, wait a minute. You're up 42-0. You got 18 seconds to go in the half. Why don't you just run the clock out or go for it on fourth down? And I think I would agree with that in most circumstances. But we're winding down to the end of the season. There's one more regular season, or two more actually for Hampton. I think they have a game on that weekend that we don't have our coverage. But
yeah, I think they play Woodside on that game.
But why don't you get your kicker an opportunity into the wind under game conditions to try a relatively long field goal? You don't know what you're going to face down the road in the playoffs, and it's almost a foregone conclusion.
Okay, so that's 27. So we're figuring 37 yards from the line of scrimmage, and that's not counting the 7-8 yards he's deep.
Well, they're going to spot the ball. Looks like it's going to be a 44-yarder. So Alan Johnson will hold the ball at the 34, and of course you tack on the 10. and then you're into a wind. So, you know, this is not a chip shot for Smith, but he has just shown great leg strength this season. He's got it up. It has a chance, but it went to the left. So it's wide left, and Warrior defense did the job, and they get the ball back. Just 11 seconds on the clock till halftime. And the very fine Kecoughtan High School marching band will be performing at halftime. So the ball comes out to the 20. Unlike the pros, where the ball would be spotted where the kick was attempted.
Yep. Well, actually, they go back to the line of scrimmage. They don't go from where it's attempted, don't they, from the line of scrimmage?
I think the pros actually where the ball is attempted from, but I could be wrong on that. So the Warriors would like to do nothing better than just get in the locker room here, as Travis Richmond will keep the ball, and he will stay in bounds. And barring a timeout by the Warriors, will end the first half, and that is the end of the first half. So we have played one half here at Darling Stadium, and our score at halftime is Hampton 42 and Kecoughtan nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium at halftime. As you see up in the upper right-hand corner of your picture, the Hampton Crabbers have returned to the field, and they lead comfortably by the score of 42-0 at halftime. In the first half, for the Kecoughtan Warriors, it was pretty dismal. 12 carries for minus 18 yards. Joe Smith, the leading rusher, 6 tries for 7 yards. They did not complete a pass to their own team. They threw 3 interceptions, and they were penalized twice for 10 yards. They fumbled the ball twice and lost one of those, and they did not have a first down in the first half, did the Warriors. For the Hampton Crabbers, they rushed the ball 24 times for 106 yards, and they had 2 touchdowns. Mac Jones was the leading rusher, 6 carries for 38 yards. In the passing department, Marcus Higgins was 6 of 7, 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was not intercepted. Carl Calloway had 2 grabs for 36 yards and a touchdown to be the leading receiver. Crabbers registered 12 first downs. They did not incur a penalty, and they did not fumble the ball. As at halftime, our score, Hampton 42 and Kecoughtan nothing. Very unfortunate, Bob, that unfortunately you got to play these things, but it's really a mismatch with all things considered. With the injuries, it's just made it that much worse.
It really has. It would be much more competitive if you had a quarterback that had been quarterbacking all year long. You had the same running backs and the linemen. Of course, you're going to have some injuries.
Which goal do you want to defend? Kick this way, so you defend this one. You come around behind me, come around this side, kick down, receive, second half kickoff. Gentlemen, let's have a great half.
Nice of what you always do it, but you're right, Tim. It's mismatched, and it's because of injuries, because people have not been able to play in those positions and get comfortable with it. The timing's off in the backfield. The passing routes are being run. The quarterback is, all that timing that you work on all year long in this part of the season, it should be much easier to do. But unfortunately, right now Kecoughtan is struggling. And Hampton is running on all 12 cylinders.
They are, and the Warriors are realizing that this season is a rebuilding season. This season is no longer, viable for any kind of awards and so forth. So they're just playing it out. And I got to give credit though. The Kecoughtan Warriors on defense, they've really been trying, and especially on that goal line stand, I was just impressed with their heart But it's hard, when you get down 42-0, it's hard for anybody to keep going.
It really is. But they back out there and they say, listen, we got 24 minutes more to play. We're gonna do it. Get some experience playing against some good teams. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of new faces in the Crabbers lineup to start in the second half.
All right, Brian Smith has it in the end zone and into the wind.
In and out of the end zone.
So that one didn't even stay in the end zone, as it will come out now to the 20. Fans here were treated to a fine performance at halftime. The Kecoughtan Warrior Marching Band.
Oh, they put on a good show, don't they?
They always do. And, by the way, that will be shown at the end of the game. I knew I was telling everybody about that for good reason.
Right, in its entirety, so stay tuned.
That's right.
Tim, you don't tease much, do you?
Well, let's not talk about that. All right, Warriors from their 20. Raymond Craven gets the call, and he is stopped for a loss in the backfield of a couple. Travis Richmond is the quarterback. Second down and 12 for the Warriors. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and the Channel 46 crew. Hope you're enjoying the contest. And again, we remind you.
No, somebody turned up something.
Yeah, we can hear the players down on the field, and I can hear that too.
And that might be why we're picking up a little extra stuff here.
The sound was boosted up for you. Get that feel of the game. What do they call the sounds of the game? I think they call it.
You got that. Gear Up Printing is a place to go for all your printing needs. Any business cards, letterheads, etc. You get the personal touch that's only available at Gear Up Printing. They're located 1909 North Armstead Avenue, 827-8277.
Third down and 10 for Kecoughtan. On the option, Travis Richmond has the first down, and he is out to the 40-yard line. So the Warriors register their first down of the ball game.
That's 20 yards on that pickup. Found a little something happening here.
So the Warriors are able to move the sticks, and clock is restarted. We're down to 10:28 left in the third quarter. Watch the replay here. You're going to see the option play by Travis Richmond.
He did a great job of faking that time.
From their 40-yard line, first down. Flag down on the play.
And that usually coming from the referee back there, illegal procedure or something.
The illegal motion is the initial call from Richard
Going
Ross.
forward at the snap.
You had a player going forward at the snap, Richard said.
Be sure and check out your neighborhood Zooms. They have 5 convenient Hampton locations and one coming to my neighborhood soon.
Illegal motion right here. Repeat, first down.
Richard Rawls tells us the penalty, and again, the last thing the Warriors need is to be going east when they're trying to go west.
Yeah, that's the wrong direction. You're right.
Mark the ball at the 35-yard line. First and 15. Out of the I formation. Pitch, Smith. Got away from one. Couldn't get away from the other.
Okay, sorry, that number 64 for the Crabbers. That's Robbie Robinson. Showed good speed. For that beautiful smile that you can only get at the Family Dentistry, Dr. Scott and Hunter Francis, located at 2038 Nickerson Boulevard at 851-3530. That is the Family Dentistry Bob Killens and Bob Henson's dentist.
Well, who was that up here?
That was Hunter.
Hunter.
Hunter came up and saw us during halftime, and we appreciate his.
I knew it was. I just wanted you to mention his name.
Oh, I see. I thought you really didn't know.
No, but
you trying to say I'm a little gullible here?
No. But Hunter was telling us, he said he thanked us for allowing the family dentistry to help support this Channel 46 effort. And we told him, if you have some more other people that you know would like to help support and defray the cost, we'd be glad to have them on here.
Absolutely. We need the corporate sponsors to help us, and we do appreciate those we have.
So the ball at the 38-yard line as it's 3rd down and almost 13, 3rd down and 12. Long 12. Back to throw in a crowd, and this one is tipped and incomplete.
14 almost came up with it. That's Philip Tyson.
Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. They are locally owned and operated, and they service most brands. Here's your replay. And almost picked off.
He's thrown every pass to them.
Let me finish that thought. Stallion Brothers, give them a call at 825-1416 or 850-5564. Broski, who had one end up in the end zone with the red and white, gets this one away. Carlos Campbell, and Campbell is at the 48-yard line, and that's where Hampton will set up.
Stopped by number 73, Larry French. For your security, whether it's for home, auto, or life protection, call the Good Hands people, Robert Mann and James Hudson, your All-State agents at 827-1200. As you watch the replay,
an 18-yard return on a 32-yard punt into the wind, so that was not a bad-looking punt at all by Mr.
Sir,
Broski. So the Crabbers will start from their 48-yard line. They have had excellent field position throughout the ball game. Campbell is split wide to the right. Higgins gives off, and it's Mac Jones who's down to the 45-yard line, a pickup of about 6. Battle in on the stop for the Warriors. Here, watch it again from the ground level. Coming right at you, Mac Jones and Battle. You saw that number 1 got down low and got him at the shoe tops and brought him down, but not before Hampton picked up 6. So we are at the 7-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Again, Mac Jones, again, same right side, and he picks up the first down at the 37-yard line.
Emmanuel Anderson was one of the tacklers that time. Manny coming up from one of his defensive cornerback positions. Watch the replay right here.
Pick up of about 8 by Mac Jones. Another set of downs now. 37-yard line is where the ball's marked in Kecoughtan territory. Again, Jones. This time he tries the left side. Good blocking over there. He's got one man to get around. That is Smith, and he will drag him down.
And he fumbled the ball.
Ball came loose, and the Warriors have it. So Joe Smith stripped the ball from Mac Jones, and the Warriors come up with it inside their own 10-yard line. First mistake of the ball game by Hampton.
Well, number 1, Battle is the one I think came up with the recovery.
You can see the ball loose. It was Smith that stripped it, and Battle with the cover.
30-yard run.
Picked up 30 yards, did Mac Jones, but he coughed it up. And now the Warriors get it back at their 7. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Into the middle of the line, the Warriors keep it on the ground.
You don't do anything fancy down here.
Well, not especially when you've got a freshman quarterback who's still getting his first game experience, and I think the young man's done very well, all things considered. You know, talk about being thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, you got that right.
So I'm impressed with the young man, and I'm sure as a freshman this will go a long ways towards his maturity, and we will hopefully see him down the road and have better days.
He's going to get a lot of experience tonight.
Yep. Again on the ground.
HCS Reports has a new look. Join anchor Beth Sadler Monday through Friday at noon and again at 5 p.m. for all the news and information about the Hampton City Schools. That's HCS Reports.
Third down and 5 for Kecoughtan. You know they'd love to get a first down here. And they will not get out of their own backfield as the play action didn't fool the defense. And Travis Richmond has to eat the football, and now that'll bring on the kicking team once again.
Gordon Broski's getting his earning his pay tonight, isn't he?
No, not Gordon now. That's
I'm sorry, this is Daddy.
Gordon probably appreciates that. He's sitting on the couch right now saying, did I kick during that game?
Yeah, man, did I do a good job or what?
So Jason standing deep in his own end zone. Gets a low snap and just got it away. The left-footed kicker got a good one away. Taken at the 36-yard line by Campbell. Campbell reverses his field, and that will not be a good decision as he is taken down by Philip Tyson, number 14, at the 40-yard line. So
and we got a flag on the play too, Tim.
Loss on the return and a yellow hanky down. Here's your replay. What you couldn't see in that replay was a low snap again. A good job by Broski to get it away, and then Philip Tyson trapped Carlos Campbell.
Right here.
Yeah, clipping. Well, that'll add 15 yards to it. WHCS Channel 46 presents live your school board meetings on the first and third Wednesday of each month. At 7:30, tune in and be informed about what's happening in the Hampton City Schools.
Clipping just happened during the run back. First down.
So you undoubtedly, we heard it clearly from Mr. Rawls. Again, we thank Richard Rawls and his group for allowing us to put a mic on him and add to our coverage of the game.
Oh, we just asked Scotty to turn down the sound on that a little bit. My ears are still echoing from Mr. Rawls.
Well, I use it as my Friday night ear cleaning process myself.
Yeah, well, you could have cleaned my ears without me having these on.
All right, just shy of the 45-yard line on the Hampton side of midfield. And here is a fresh jersey in the backfield, as we suspected we would see some new numbers back there. That is Stephen Wyatt, who is a sophomore. Gets the call, his first carry of the ball game. He is a 5'9", 160-pounder. Here's your replay. You're going to see him again coming right at you here. Stephen Wyatt, wrapped up by Joe Smith. Higgins comes back in the ball game. Wyatt checks out. Alphonso Gunter is in the backfield. We saw Raymond Mann there for a couple of plays too. He had one series and he just ran up and down the field. A big Raymond Mann. Now he is back in there, but he's a lineman instead of a running back this time. Higgins wants to go long for Campbell, and Campbell can't hold on to it. A lot of hand fighting going on between Campbell and the defender, but they allowed that to go on. And good job by Emmanuel Anderson to stay right with Carlos Campbell.
Man, he did a good job because Carlos has got a lot of speed as we watch the replay.
Higgins just threw it up and said, listen, Carlos just run underneath it. He should have had that ball. Hampton Chevrolet is a locally owned business, and they strongly believe in supporting both the community and the schools. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. 49-yard line is where they've marked it. Third down and 6 to go for the Crabbers. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass. 2:35 to go in the third quarter. Hampton 42, Kecoughtan nothing. Tune-up game for the big game next week. Screen pass is incomplete, just a little short for Mac Jones. Good pressure coming from the Warriors. Over there was Lamar Perry, number 31, and others.
Well, that's a hard pass to throw. I mean, you were running backwards, and you got to get enough on it to get to your on the screen. But he was getting some pressure, just a little short.
So the Crabbers looking at 4th down and 6, and have yet to punt in the ball game, and would appear that they may not be punting here. We'll see as they break the formation. Nope, they don't look to be in a punting frame of mind here.
Nope, and I thought they may get in the shotgun, but they're not even going to be in a shotgun.
So rather spread out formation. This is a little pitch to Mac Jones, and Jones turns the corner and gets the first down inside the Kecoughtan 40-yard line.
First time we've seen him run the option as such as Hampton's got such great speed on the outside, and fundamentally they're so sound. Watch the replay. And Mac does a good job of making you miss the initial tackler misses.
Mac Jones in the ball game, 10 carries for 95 yards, averaging 9.5 each time he touches the ball. First down at the 38-yard line. Higgins looking, rolling, and then he goes out of bounds.
The receivers were well covered that time. Just 2 of them down deep. Carlos in the center of the field, but there are only 3 receivers out.
Maybe a yard on the play by Higgins. The out of bounds play stops the clock. A little less than 2 minutes to go. Second and 10, second and 9.5. Higgins, quick pass in the flat. That is an incomplete pass, very close to being a lateral. Defense for the Warriors had that one smelled out pretty well.
He really did. The ball just, Carlos come running back towards the ball, was cutting towards the line of scrimmage actually, and the ball went off his left arm, just thrown a little bit behind him.
It's almost as if the Crabbers are not really trying to run up the score, that you're trying to experiment with some of the plays that they have in their arsenal, and you don't get a chance to practice them all the time.
Not against people that are not your own team.
Exactly. But I am a little bit surprised now they've taken too much time, and Richard Rawls will call delay of the game. I am a little bit surprised, though, that they haven't brought in more diversity as far as some of the younger players at this point, with the 1:45 left in the third and the game comfortably under control.
Dead ball foul, delay a game against the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Third down and 14 to go for Hampton. Higgins drops straight back, feels some pressure. Now he'll run, and he will go out of bounds, and it'll be very close to the first down marker, but it looks like it'll be a little short.
Yeah, it looks at that point that it's going to be short.
4th down and about a yard to go.
It's amazing when he gets outside, when he can turn on that speed.
He is very quick. It's your replay here again from the ground level.
Higgins goes out of bounds at the Kecoughtan.
Lamar Perry had a hand in his going out of bounds. So the Crabbers, as they did previously on 4th down, will go for this one. Mac Jones is going to be close to the first
Yeah,
down.
he is going to be close. Depends on the spot.
Going to bring the chains across to give it the official measurement here.
The Kecoughtan sideline is one of the coaches saying that thing is short.
Well, I'm going to say he did get it by about the length of the football. That's my guess at this point from this angle. He got it by the length of the football.
Well, you're uncanny.
Among other things.
I think what's happening really is the officials down there, you paid them and they're giving you a signal up here. I think that's what's happening. I noticed Richard Rawls reached in his back pocket and did a little tug. I was that's a sign to Tim.
What Scotty said, even a blind man gets one right once in a while.
Lamar Perry on a nice hit. That fits a little bit better.
I like this first analogy. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then.
No, but see, you're too consistent.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, but I think you're getting a little help.
31-yard line after the loss. One of the rare times this evening that the Crabbers have not gotten plus yardage on a play other than the sacks that have occurred. And this is Higgins. Higgins in the open field is extremely dangerous. Looking for a block. Battle couldn't get him. Lamar Perry couldn't get him. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Hampton. 31-yarder.
Amazing.
So Higgins has his second touchdown of the night. His first one was 25 yards. That was on the opening possession by the Crabbers. Here's your replay. They look like they had him several times. That's just got to be frustrating for the Warriors. He's out here floating around and he's looking downfield, doesn't find anybody open, and cuts it back across the middle. Watch right here. Just kind of a pick play. Lamar Perry just couldn't get him as he got into the corner of the end zone to make it 48-0. 8 seconds left on the clock in the third quarter, and Mike Smith's son Brian makes it 49-0 as he is 7 for 7 in extra points. So 8 ticks of the clock. It took almost 12 minutes for any second half scoring to occur, and I would say that's not as a result of any lack of effort on the part of the Crabbers per se, but again, I just want to say personally, I think that the effort by the Warriors is a real gutsy effort. They could have folded this tent up a long time ago.
They could have.
And they've done a really good job of hanging in there and trying their darndest, even though they know that they're running uphill here.
Trying to run uphill, carrying a big load.
So Brian Smith will kick it off again, and the same trio will be back deep for the Warriors. That will be Raymond Craven, Joe Smith, and Manny Anderson from left to right. This one will be taken with 1 foot in the end zone. You're going to allow him to bring it out.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
Ball was in the end zone, but Richard Rawls looked right at him and did not prevent him from returning the ball.
Well, the 1 foot was in the end zone. Maybe the ball never got into the end zone.
Maybe that's the call. Yep. That was the final play of the third quarter. We're going to show you the return, see if you can tell. The ball may not have gotten across the goal line. Okay, here it is. Yep, he's got a foot in the end zone. Maybe it's the ball that has to go across. question is, was his foot in the end zone when he fielded the ball? And
Yes.
my answer would be yes.
Absolutely.
But small point, just an interesting
Well,
sideline.
by letting him run it out, they're starting from the 22 instead of the 20.
And they got rid of those 8 seconds.
There you go. We needed to get rid of those 8 seconds.
21-yard return if you can take that yard into the end zone and tack it on to the actually the 23-yard return.
Okay.
If it was in one yard in and he's out to the 22.
I agree. Buy that. I'll buy anything at this
Oh,
point.
good. After the game, we're going over to your favorite watering hole and you can buy anything.
Oh, that's what you're going to do, huh?
Fourth quarter.
Need car insurance, Tim?
No, I'm happy to say, but I understand you know someone who can give us some
Get
good
the best. Call Robert Mann and James Hudson, your Allstate agents, at 942 Big Bethel Road, 827-1200.
From their 22, Joe Smith gets the handoff. I will say that, again, I don't want to sound like I'm ever second-guessing any of the coaches, but I would say that this is the correct running play for them to try, and that is east and west. Because as soon as you try to go, or north and south at least, but as soon as you try and go laterally against this Hampton pursuit, you are...
Yeah, you want to go north and south. You're right. Printing is our only game, and we're very good at what we do. So whatever your printing needs are, call us at Gear Up Printing. Call Tom Garrett, 827-827.
Well, I'll call them at Gear Up Printing. You and I don't work there.
Well, call us. We'll be there. There's a kind of a crossbar.
Kind of a trap play there.
Yeah, do I answer the phone? Sure.
That's right. There's the slogan. The Stallion Brothers. They answer the phone. Mark and Kenny of Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling remind you that now is the time to get your furnace checked out, Bob, before the cold weather months hit. 825-1416 or 850-5564. And reminder, never an overtime charge. So, you know, if Ruth didn't get that guy to fire up the pilot light, you had to call the Stallion Brothers when you get home.
And there's no, you call them, there's no overtime charge.
No overtime. It's like us, we have no overtime.
We get no overtime.
Smith on the carry, and that'll bring up a 4th down as he got a yard or so, maybe 2.
Beautiful teeth and a broad smile say more than hi. It says, I care how I look. I go to the family dentistry, the Dr. Scott and Hunter Francis, located at 2038 Nickerson Boulevard. Give them a call at 851-3530.
Jason Broski back to punt. Carlos Campbell back to receive Mr. Broski's punt. Warriors get on their 11th player just in time. Broski's had some problems with the snaps. This one's a good one. Gets it away. Campbell takes it at the 44. Campbell now trying to reverse his field. Got a good block, but Philip Tyson has got him again. That's been his outstanding effort tonight by Tyson.
Tyson has done it.
He's done a good job on special teams.
He sure has.
So the Warriors prevent a run back by the Crabbers. And watch this as you get a look at young Philip Tyson. Broski got a punt away just in time. Got a good spiral away. Now Campbell comes to the near side and says, wait a minute, let's reverse field here. And then Philip Tyson says, down you go. All the way back to the 32-yard line. Lost 12. You might have heard Bob mention that.
I heard it.
I heard it. That's Bob, instant stat man killing to my left.
Instant stat man.
And he was giving me all these power rating stuff. Boy, I'll tell you, went to the high school, the VHSL high school website. And man, they have everything you ever want to know.
Anything?
Everything you want to know. Got statistics on the teams. We got the power ratings. There we go. How you doing, everybody?
Hey, good shot.
Over there.
There's the man right over there.
But yeah, that's I've gone to the website in the past for some information about playoffs and locations and so forth. But playoffs are going to be coming up here in just 2 or 3 weeks. Seems like the season just started. And there's Raymond Mann in the backfield again, the big number 7. Wow.
Look at the speed.
I'm talking speed here, folks.
My goodness.
Speed kills.
That's unbelievable.
66 yards. Raymond Mann, the offensive tackle.
Defensive linebacker. Probably one of the top linebackers in the nation. High school this year.
Watch the speed on this guy. Watch the replay here. You're just not going to believe this. If you see it in person, you're going to say, I don't believe it. He's going to come right at you here. Look out. Scotty didn't believe it.
Scotty didn't.
Well,
look at the replay, Scotty.
Brian Smith will try and make it 56-0, and his kick is long enough, and it is good enough. So with 8:25 left in the fourth quarter, it's 56-0 in favor of the Hampton Crabbers. Tune-up game for the big one next Friday night. Planned to be here October 29th. Halloween weekend. It will be a Friday night battle for the Peninsula District Championship and all. In essence, although with the power ratings the way they are, I'm sure Hampton could be derailed even with a loss. And I'm not saying for a minute they would lose, but if they did, I don't think that would even take them out of the power ratings. If they're so far ahead of everybody else. And the Phantoms, of course, 6-1. Bill D and his squad, their only blemish, a loss to Heritage, albeit a significant and resounding loss. But sometimes you do gain some things from losing a game like that, and Bill D's got that team back on the winning ways.
He really does. And that's going to be a great contest next week. So, you know, make plans to be here. And as you said earlier in the contest, be here early because the seats are going to be hard to come by if you come in late.
I would think that one would have all the potential of being a sellout. All right. Now, Alan Johnson will try to kick off this time, and he kicks that short pooch, and that one is taken at the 22-yard line. And of course, a reminder, in high school football, like college, once you are down with the ball, you cannot get up and run with it. So that's where the Warriors will have it at their 22-yard line. Would you bring me a jacket? It's a little nippy up here tonight. I have a jacket down in the car. Could you run down and get it?
Sure, you wait right here, and I'll run right back up those bleachers.
Well, that'll warm you up a little bit.
I'm not cold.
Oh, that's right.
I'll tell you what, you run down and get it.
Okay, and I'll see you next Friday night.
Oh, we will pick a player of the game.
Yes, we will.
Both of these teams tonight. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Quick hitter. And a first down.
And we got a flag to come in late.
Flag, yep.
Who was that to run the ball? Looked like number 8
I think
ran
it's
the
Manny
ball.
Anderson.
Manny, yeah. We will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight, and those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim or Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Kecoughtan. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods.
15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Both team and individual equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
So you saw, and you probably even heard, the assessment of the 15-yard face mask penalty on the tack. That was only the second first down of the ball game for the Warriors. At their 49-yard line, first down. Travis Richmond rose one up. Oh, that could be dangerous. Fortunately for the Warriors, now they're incomplete, but a penalty flag down, and I think they're going to rule interference against Hampton.
I think they are too. I think young man was tackling. I don't know if it was a catchable ball or not, but that makes no difference.
And there's Larry, the head man here at the stadium, Malloy. So it is going to be a pass interference. We'll see if we can pick up the penalty as it occurred. This is going to be up for grabs. And
Pass interference against the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
you could just make out at the very end of the play there that the defender on the play did in fact tackle the intended receiver. So the Warriors, benefiting from a couple of major penalties now, have moved the ball to the deepest penetration at the Hampton 36-yard line. And again, a new number in the backfield.
Look like the 13.
Yeah, that's
Justin Green.
Justin Green. He is a sophomore running back. After the game, make that trip to Zooms. Zooms is your friendly neighborhood store. 5 convenient Hampton locations, and they have great, and I could use them right now, Beantown coffee. Maybe some
Oh, you a little chilly?
hot potato wedges.
No,
and
you
some
cannot have my
fried chicken.
jacket.
That's that nice looking jacket you got for playing all those holes of golf. Huh?
That's right.
Second down after the pickup of about 7. Throw in for Philip Tyson, and he makes the grab inside the 5-yard line. First and goal at the 2.
That was just great concentration by Philip Tyson.
And the defender was there. He was all over him. Watch your replay. That was Fenner who was the defender on the play, but Tyson just out-jumped him for the ball.
Well, he had his body position, and in retrospect, I'm sure Fenner said, well, I could have interfered with him and not let him catch the ball, and they wouldn't be down as far as they are.
So first and goal at the 2, and on the first play, it is a quarterback keeper, and he got very little, may have gotten a half a yard. The Warriors want to get in that end zone real badly. Tyson comes out, and he is favoring his right shoulder or right arm, the young man who made that fine tackle on the punt to Carlos Campbell earlier and then made that grab at the 2-yard line. So hopefully his is only a temporary problem. From about the 1.5. And they give and a touchdown as Manny Anderson goes in from 2 yards out. So for the Warriors, a form of redemption, and you see the Kecoughtan faithful who have stayed here through a chilly night. They're going to officially mark that a 1-yard run by Anderson, but it wouldn't have mattered to the Warriors. They're just glad they've got some points on the board.
Glad to get it. You're right. Broski is going to come in and they're taking time out, the Warriors are, but it looks like Broski is going to come in and attempt the extra point.
And we'll let you watch the cheerleaders and listen to the band.
Scotty, yes I did. See, Scotty wasn't listening. All he was listening to see if I was talking about him. I said our engineer and slow-mo instant replay guy, Don Chiraus. And
I
Scotty didn't hear me.
I heard you. He can play the tape back to confirm it.
He's doing double duty tonight.
Okay. So with 5:34 left in the fourth quarter, the Warriors now will try to make it 56-7. Broski's kick is up, and his kick is good. So the Warriors avoid the shutout. And that was all done by the fine quarterbacking of the young freshman, Travis Richmond, and the catching.
I was going to say Philip Tyson did a good job catching that ball.
Yep. And we do want to remind you folks before you turn off the TV that the band the performance at halftime will be in its entirety at the end of the game. So those of you who are band members and band parents, be sure and stay tuned.
Or if you just want to watch a great band put on a good halftime show.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned at the end of the game.
5:34 left in the ball game. The Warriors benefited by 2 major penalties, and that's throughout the first 3 quarters of this game, Hampton just didn't make any mistakes. They had no fumbles, they had no interceptions, they had no penalties at halftime, and only in the waning part of this game did they start to make some mistakes that could hurt them. And even with a 56-7 victory or something of that sort, when we're all done with it, I guarantee you the Hampton coaches will say, look, you guys, you can't give up like that. You can't stop concentrating, and they'll have a lesson for them. Wind to the back of Jason Broski here as he will put the left foot into it. Tries the onside kick, or was it? It looked like it.
No, it was an intentional onside kick, but the people on this side were actually got to the where the kicking line is before the ball was kicked.
All right, we're going to return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of tonight's ball game after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium. On the kickoff, the 5-yard penalty against Kecoughtan. Offsides. Crabbers bring up the team to anticipate the short kick, and this time the Warriors say, nope, we're going to cross you up here, and they kick it in the end zone. So 5 yards back, Broski with good leg put it in the end zone. And there's our man, Bunny.
Bunny Brown, he's sitting down there in the corner, and I said, well, where's your Crabber jacket and your Crabber hat? He says, listen, when you get the tickets from Kecoughtan, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. I said, you got it, Bunny. Nice to see him here.
Always nice to see him here. He's always here for these games, and always has a nice hello and a good greeting. And he asked me tonight, he says, where's that bum Bob? And I said, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
No, he didn't say what, because I was here when he got here.
Oh. Well,
so he was probably talking about killing.
Might have been. He didn't say it was you. He just said bum Bob. So. Raymond Mann back in the backfield. The big tackle turned running back takes the ball and just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So the Warriors defense is given a boost from the offense. Clock moving as we are approaching the 5-minute mark in the ball game. Hampton in no great hurry to do anything with the ball. Got a couple of new offensive players in there for Hampton. Alexander Mann, number 22, is in as a wide receiver. On the delayed handoff to Jones. He also just got back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain for Mac Jones on the play. So it brings up 3rd and 10. John Brown in on the stop. They've heard Buddy Denton, a last-minute replacement on the PA tonight here at what was a home game for Kecoughtan.
Well, see, Paul Rowe usually does it, and since he set in for you, he figures that's almost beneath him now. Right?
He's not doing that PA stuff anymore. If it isn't TV, it's nothing.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do nothing.
I see Paul sitting home right now with his smoking jacket on. Wide open, nobody there. Forte on the receiving end of the pass down the sideline, and he is taken down, but not until he gets to the Kecoughtan 44-yard line.
Battle finally made the stop, but That's 165 pounds against 245.
And Forte is a load. All the way to the 44-yard line.
36 yards.
36 yards. Watch your replay here. There we go. That is the pass. So that will not hurt Mr. Hagen's passing statistics. 46 yards. Clock is restarted. 3:33 left in the ball game. Higgins feels the pressure, does a good job of eluding the tackler, now throws down at the goal line, and is it intercepted? No. They say incomplete. Looked like he picked it. Oh, my. Looked like he picked it off.
I thought he did.
Well, they must have ruled that
he said it hit the ground. There was a little bit of contact.
No, there was a lot of contact. Bob was mentioning that off the to my side here, that they were doing a lot of pushing. I don't know if we'll see it on the replay because it came at the very end. Good job of Higgins doing an excellent job. See if we can pick up the pushing. Nope. But boy, it looked like he intercepted that thing.
Yeah, sure did.
Well, the official much closer to it than we are. So he ruled that it hit the ground before he had complete control, I assume. Now the Hampton team will call timeout. And that comes with 3:16 to go. That is their first timeout of the second half. Smith is on the field, and he's asking the officials why wasn't it intercepted. I'm only surmising that's what he's asking.
It looked good to me.
Could we have that one more time, Scotty? Could we, while they're doing this timeout, could we look at that one more opportunity?
I think Mike was saying, you were way over the other side of the field. You weren't as close as I am.
Yeah, now the official that ruled that the pass was incomplete was right there. Boy, it sure looked like a pick. We're looking for it. We may or may not have it for you, but in any event, there is a timeout. 3:16 to go.
Well, while we do have this timeout, we might as well go with the players of the game. I'm going to pick the one on the Hampton side. I'm going to go with Marcus Hayes. Put you on the spot. Let you pick the Kecoughtan one.
We're going to see. Oh, okay, here it is. All right, watch this now. You tell me if you can tell.
If we can slow it
down just a little bit. Well, I don't know how it's not an interception, but the official ruled the ball hit the ground before the player had control. So, and I'll tell you, it's not an easy choice, and thanks a lot for putting me on the spot. But I'm going to go with Philip Tyson as my Kecoughtan player of the game, or our Kecoughtan player of the game. And my other choice, there was a close battle, was with Mr. Broski, because he's done a fine job tonight, too. And again, this one is picked off. And boy, completed, excuse me. And boy, but they having all kinds of hand fighting going on there. This is
Carlos Campbell made sure he had the ball. Watch it this time. He said, I got it before I go down.
And was that Manny Anderson that was hanging on to him? He was doing everything he could. 37 yards on the pass completion. So there's a 46er and a 37er in there. Mr. Higgins has got to be he's got to be over 200 yards passing in the game. We'll give you that stat here in a second.
Well, during the first quarter, he had 93 at one time, didn't he?
Yeah, 106 at half. So. And Higgins continues at quarterback, but he took too long as delay of the game will be called. 2:38 to go. 2:16 is the passing yardage for Mr. Higgins this evening.
Dead ball foul, delay a game against the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
He is doing such an excellent job of finding the open receiver, and but he's getting some good protection, and that always helps. But even when he's out of the pocket, he's throwing a ball with a lot of accuracy.
He's throwing some beauties on the run. Higgins again on the run as he feels the pressure, and he just stepped right by a couple of would-be tacklers and dives in the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, he will sleep well tonight.
"13 yards on the run." And look at, he just scoots along the ground. He is so low to the ground. He is so quick. It's hard to get a hand on him. So the Crabbers now up 62-7. Smith's extra point is true. So with 2:25 to go, Crabbers add another touchdown. Marcus Higgins scored the first touchdown of the game. Scored
outside in, May. Outside in. Outside.
A second. He's run for three touchdowns now and has passed. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. He's passed for 4, so he's been responsible for 6 of them.
He's passed for 4 and run for 3.
7 of the touchdown.
Well, that's pretty good. Nice work.
Is there a point? You're a former coach. Is there a point when it doesn't hurt anymore, when the score keeps going worse and worse against you after you realize you're just not going to win, or is it more painful as it continues to mount?
You know, a loss is
not that you've ever been on that wrong end.
No, I've been on that wrong end, but it doesn't feel good whether you lose. But you know, if you play well and your kids did as well as they can, you can take a loss because you can only do what you can do. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But the Kecoughtan kids have, I thought, have done well tonight.
Higgins, I stand corrected. Higgins has run for 3 and thrown for 3. Sometimes it's hard to read my writing.
You notice I didn't even try.
There you go.
It looks like chicken scratches from over here.
And it's very much like that. But yeah, you know, that's an interesting comment, considering they're down 63-7. That Kecoughtan has done well, but I agree with you, oddly enough, that you know, they could have just phoned it in, and they've been trying. I mean, there's no question that they've been continuing to try. So 22-yard return by Joe Smith after the 55-yard kick from Brian Smith. And you saw the replay, and we're set to go now. 2:05 left, mercifully left in the ball game. Hopefully Kecoughtan will stay on the ground, but no. Up for grabs, and Battle almost got it. Aquan Battle.
That was one of those comebackers. It was he was running a streak pattern, stopped and came back and almost got the ball. It was underthrown.
Well, we've got some different numbers in that backfield.
We have seen players that could not outrun the pass. Ronald Curry comes to mind. He could throw the ball sometimes further than the guy could run. But this young man's a freshman, has not developed the skills level at that point yet, and is not going to hit you on a fly pattern when you get 40, 50 yards down that line of scrimmage. I mean, from the line of scrimmage. We got a penalty.
Illegal procedure against the Warriors. 1:49 left.
There's ball foul. Snap infraction against the center. 5-yard penalty. Big down.
9 flags thrown, and we had 23 thrown last week.
9 penalties assessed tonight. We had a bundle of them last week, almost 24 last week.
Last week it was Flag Day. I tell you, number 13 is Justin Green is showing some determination. Broke a couple of tackles in the backfield.
Marked the ball at the 22-yard line. 3rd down for the Warriors as we are down to 1:20 in the ball game. on the pitch. Out of bounds at the 31, a little more than the 31-yard line. Stops the clock with 1 second less than a minute to go in the game.
1 second left.
Less than a minute.
59 seconds.
59 seconds. You got it.
Oh, I tell you, my abacus is working.
Not what I've heard, but that's
be careful, Tim.
Your abacus? The Warriors going for it on 4th down. Why not? You're down 63-7. You might as well on the option. And the pitch was ill-advised as
should have kept the ball.
Yeah, Travis Richmond would have been close to a first down, but that one you could see that was not the choice. And again, as a freshman, you make those decisions later on. You won't do that same thing with more experience. And by the way, even with experience, people still do the wrong thing like that. So the Crabbers will take over on downs. Got it at the 50, so the 23 rather, not the 50. So Hampton calls a timeout. I assume that is to get as many of the different players aligned to go on the field. In any event, 48 seconds remain in our ball game. So Hampton will be 8-0 going into the game, which is next Friday night with the Phoebus Phantoms.
He's going to clean his bench. He's cleaning his bench.
And Phoebus, of course, as this game is being viewed, they will be playing the game. Yeah, give those to me, will you, Scott?
What is the date today? Yours, Scotty?
No, I want to know the date this game is being played on the air.
It's going to be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, where they'll be watching, and at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So today's date is October the 22nd.
I know what today's date is. I'm not even doing that one anymore. I'm taking my ball and going home. All right, so the Crabbers will bring on some fresh names to
Jimmy Williams running quarterback, number 21.
Jimmy Williams Jr., a sophomore. Got a whole new backfield in there for Hampton. And with that, usually there's a little confusion about who's supposed to be on and who's supposed to be off. Give us a couple of mentions while I can here to some of the numbers I did pick up. I got a number and no names, so I won't do that. This is Stephen Wyatt, I believe, number 43. We saw him a little earlier. And out there, well, with Alan Johnson is on the offensive team right now. We're down to 3 seconds.
Yeah,
that should be, and hopefully will be the last play. And finally, the clock runs out and the game is over with. Tonight's broadcast has been underwritten by the following: Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard, Zoom Sitco with 5 Hampton locations, by the Family Dentistry of Doctors Scott and Hunter Francis.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
By your Allstate agents, Robert Mann and James Hudson. And in part by Stallion Brothers Heating and Cooling. And in part by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the managing director. All right, that's going to do it for us from Darling Stadium. The final score, Hampton 63 and Kecoughtan 7. For Bob Hintz and Bob Killen, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.